Hi there and welcome to Chalk Session. I am your host, Brian Griffiths. This is the show here at the Duck Pen where we analyze and review and critique political campaign ads. So join us on this week's show. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and let's take a look at this week's ad. This week on Chalk Session, we are going to review a very short ad. It's a 30-second spot, more typical of political commercials. And what we're going to do here, it's from the New Jersey State Democratic Committee, and it's about the Republican candidate for governor of New Jersey. So why don't you go ahead and watch it with me here?
Do you know who this guy is?
No clue.
No.
That's Jack Ciattarelli, the GOP candidate for governor. He wants.
By the way, one of the things that you always are suggested to not do is to give your opponent the opportunity to get additional name recognition. I mean, the election in New Jersey is a couple of weeks away, so maybe it's not as big of a deal, but always, you know, when you start giving people name recognition, it's not always the best call.
It's led an effort to ban swearing.
You're shitting me.
You did what?
This is real.
Wait.
What?
This is real. They are critiquing him for trying to ban swearing. Not even joking here, people.
What the fuck? Oh, that's kind of nice.
Really?
No.
This is fucking New Jersey.
We can't
Yeah,
let that
this is real.
win.
That's a real ad. That is a real ad that is running on actual television, about a 26-second spot, encouraging people to not vote for Jack Ciattarelli because he proposed a ban on cussing. Yeah, that's the entirety of the commercial, folks. That's it right there. Join us after the break, and that's a quick break, and we'll go ahead and finish out our review. Okay, let's go ahead and review this ad from the New Jersey State Democratic Committee. There are actually some positives to this ad, believe it or not. One, it was very cheap to produce, and I mean that in the best positive way. It was done professionally. But, you know, anytime you don't have to get sets and are just asking people on the street who somebody is, you know, it's very, very cheap. That man on the street stuff is always very cheap to produce. It's also very efficient. It makes one point, gets to the point particularly quickly, and continues to beat the point home, you know. Tell folks what you're going to tell them, and then tell them what you told them. That's always the best way to make sure that you share knowledge with people. And it was super hyper-local. I can't imagine any other place getting into an issue this pedantic, for lack of a better term. It's very, very hyper-localized and very, very, very New Jersey. On the flip side, the bad side of this stuff, one is the fact you're giving name recognition to your opponent. You never want to give name recognition to your opponent like that unless you absolutely have to. I'm not entirely sure the Democrats really needed to make this point. And the question about it is, why do you make this point at all? The entire premise of the ad was particularly pointless. I don't think the candidate has proposed a cussing ban in the state of New Jersey. He would be laughed out of the room if he did. So I'm not quite sure what point they're trying to make here, unless this is very similar to, you know, say the cheese whiz question or the cheese without whatever in Pennsylvania. There, if I run in Pennsylvania, there you know what I'm going to get in trouble in. You know, so when it comes to politics and policy, it's kind of pointless and hokey in that regard. All that being said, the ad is okay for what it is, which is a humorous spot getting people like me and people like you to talk about it. But I give the ad a B-. That's all the time we have on this episode of Chalk Session. Again, be sure to follow us on social media. And if you have an ad that you want us to analyze in one of these Chalk Session videos, please feel free to email us at theduckpen@gmail.com. For all of us here at the Duck Pen, thanks, and we'll see you next time.